Di ko mawawala ang korupsyon.
You may now be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anthony Pangilinan, and welcome to Davao and welcome to Azuela, Cove. A round of applause for all of us who are here this afternoon. It is a great pride and honor to be with you this afternoon. Today marks another first of its kind here in Davao City, a new seaside commercial and lifestyle district with a breathtaking view of Samal Island and Davao Gulf. A place that will ultimately enrich the lives of Davaoeños. This is Azuela Cove. To formally welcome us, she's a director of Alson's Corporation and a member of the board of Aviana Development Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Editha Alcantara.
Mr. President, members of the Cabinet, the local government unit in Davao, our barangay here in Lana, our partners in Ayala Land, the board of Alson's Consolidated Resources, members of the Alcantara Group of Companies, our friends from St. Luke's Medical Center, our friends and kababayans, fellow Davaoeños, members of the Alcantara family, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today to celebrate a very happy occasion, the groundbreaking of the township that is Azuela Cove, the joint venture project of Ayala Land and the Alson's Consolidated Resources, the holding company of the Alcantara Group of Companies. This project has been in the drawing boards for a while, and it is a fact that it is a very much awaited development in the city. Many of our fellow kababayans in Davao are curious, maybe quite excited about what this township development has to offer. I tell you, it will have a lot to offer. I'd like to give you a bit of history about this property. It is a 25-hectare piece of land that was the site for more than 50 years of the wood processing facilities of C. Alcantara and Sons, the first company founded by our father, Conrado Alcantara. The acronym was ALSONS, Alcantara and Sons. Alcantara and Sons. I guess my father never heard of women's lib or girl power. He probably never imagined that the two companies he first founded that carried his name would be run efficiently by his only two hardworking daughters. Of course, all of you know my sister, Rosie Dominguez. You know her more than you know me. This part of Lanang used to be called Alcantara Crossing. So this was so far away from the city. I wasn't born yet. The property housed a plywood plant, a sawmill, a lumber finishing plant, and a door manufacturing facility. It produced products that excelled in quality and was the market leader both in the domestic and export markets as far as Philippine products are concerned. It was the only plywood mill in the country that had an ISO rating and a CARB rating, CARB being the California Clean Air Agency, which was how we managed to sell a lot of plywood to California one of the biggest users of plywood in the world. In the early 90s, the company made a decision to stop cutting trees in our own forest concessions. We turned over our logging concession back to the government so that we can focus on the industrial tree plantations that we have. The factories continued using imported wood, materials mostly from New Zealand, a country with huge timber resources. Mr. President, is he listening to me? Mr. President, the timber resources of New Zealand are all plantation trees. That is true for a country like Chile, too, and especially for Chile. When the government got its act together, and they noticed, because the country's forest cover was dwindling, they focused on planting trees. Now the country is a net exporter of wood from Chile to all parts of the world. But what takes 30 to 40 years for plantation trees to grow in New Zealand before they're harvested, the same species of trees takes only 15 to 20 years to grow in the Philippines, half the time. So one doesn't have to be a genius to figure out why tree plantations should be encouraged in our country. And that will increase the forest cover of our country fast. Only planting, no cutting. This morning at the media briefing, Nick and I were asked why we transitioned the use of the property from that of a wood manufacturing facility to a mixed-use estate that is Azuela Cove. There were many issues involving mainly the interpretation of industry regulations, inadequate raw material supply, and other few reasons that threatened the long-term viability of the factories here. When we decided to take action and close the manufacturing facilities to explore options to move the company forward, we sought an audience with the president. He was our mayor then. And we told him that we were going to close the plant because Alsons was the biggest single private employer in the city at the time. And we wanted to let the mayor know that we were going to close the plant. You see, at the height of our operations, we had about 6,000 people working in this 25-hectare property. The president, the mayor then, gave us his blessings because he also knew what was happening with the plants in the country. And so here we are today with a jewel of a property. I would like to pay tribute to the men and women of Alsons who worked on these grounds for more than 50 years. Before taking care of the environment became buzzwords, the workers in the factories here were very aware and made sure to take care of the property. There were no spills in the ground, no spills in the waters. Throughout the life of the mills here, we took care of our portion of the Davao Gulf. That was our frontage to the sea. Fishes thriving next to a manufacturing facility is indeed very rare. This jewel of a property is now owned by Aviana Development Corporation, the joint venture company of Ayala Land and ACR. As owners of the land, we made sure to partner with the leading property developer in the country. The shared values and business philosophies were primary reasons for our choice of a JV partner. Finally, as most of you know by now, we have the first locator in this township development. Aviana has signed a memorandum of agreement with St. Luke's Medical Center. St. Luke's will build and manage a medium-sized tertiary facility that will provide state-of-the-art care for patients. As the local partner in our JV, it was our desire to have a hospital in Azuela Cove. And by the grace of God, we will have one. The country's leading medical facility. We consider this a legacy to Davao City. Our family considers this a legacy to Davao City, giving back to the city which has been very good to our family and to our businesses. Here, therefore, is Azuela Cove. I hope that in the very near future, this place in the city will no longer be called Alcantara Crossing. I hope the jeepneys will learn how to adapt to the change and start changing the signs on their windshields to Azuela Cove. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, distinguished guests, President Duterte, for honoring us with your presence today. It means very much to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edith. One of the women Al sons submit to. Did you notice how she called the president twice to make sure that she got his attention? Also to give his message, the President and the Chief Operating Officer of Ayala Corporation and Chairman of Ayala Land, Mr. Fernando Zobel de Ayala. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Cabinet, local government officials, our partners, the Alcantara Group, the top management and the board of St. Luke's, and my colleagues in the Ayala Group. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great honor and privilege to address you today on this very special occasion. We feel very fortunate to be here through our partnership with the Alcantara Group. Today's launch reaffirms the Ayala Group's decades-long commitment to investing in Davao. Thank you, President Duterte and Mayor Duterte, for cultivating a culture of excellence in public service. Davao City is indeed one of the easiest places to do business in the country. Together with the Alcantara family, we intend to make Azuela Cove the premier and most attractive business and residential area in the city. Like Davao City, we are committed to the highest possible standards of excellence. In fact, we're happy to report, as was mentioned earlier, that our first locator, St. Luke's Medical Center, will bring world-class healthcare to the people of Davao and its neighboring communities. Since 2011, when we launched the Brisa Mall, until today, Ayala Land's total investment in Davao amounts to around 14.6 billion pesos, and by 2026, Azuela Cove is estimated to bring in a total of 20 billion pesos in investment. The project is expected to generate around 13,000 jobs in retail, healthcare, and construction. During construction, we will employ close to 6,000 workers. Through a joint program between the Department of Education and Makati Development Corporation, our masons, plumbers, and laborers who were not able to complete their basic education will have the opportunity to do so. DepEd's alternative learning system will send the teachers, and we will provide the classrooms. We will soon be launching such programs here in Davao, Cebu, and Metro Manila. We're also making substantial long-term investments in Mindanao toward energy security, and digital connectivity. Ayala's energy unit is building a thermal power plant in Causuagan that will add 552 megawatts to the Mindanao grid by 2018. This investment of approximately 58 billion pesos will provide reliable and cheaper power to Mindanao and will use technologies that will limit emissions to levels well below those required by DENR and international experts. In terms of employment, 100 engineering graduates from the Mindanao State University have been recruited and more will be hired to staff the facility. The company has also committed to a 2,000-hectare long-term reforestation program in various areas in Mindanao, including Iligan and Lanao del Norte. And earlier this month, we celebrated a milestone in information and communications technology as Globe and its consortium partners formally launched the fully operational Southeast Asia-United States cable system that directly connects Southeast Asia to mainland United States via Davao. This cable system, to which Globe contributed an investment of approximately 4 billion pesos, will provide businesses with higher bandwidth at cost-efficient rates, as well as network resiliency that is critical to their operations. This is all a part of the continuous upgrading of our network infrastructure and capabilities. As we launch Azuela Cove, our hearts go out to the people of Marawi, those who have died and the 200,000 evacuees. We remain grateful to our armed forces for their great sacrifices and the President's task force, Bangon Marawi, for all their efforts. Together with other companies, we are coordinating with the task force on how to best help in the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the city. Indeed, the courage, resilience, and generosity of our fellow Filipinos inspire much hope. It was in this spirit and the desire to contribute to the Duterte administration's drive against drug proliferation that in May 2017, Marawi City and the Ayala Foundation had planned to launch the Siapen Drug Rehabilitation Center in Marawi. The launch was unfortunately postponed due to the terrorist attack of the Maute Group. Through the Makati Development Corporation, the foundation had refurbished an unused government building into a community-based drug rehabilitation facility. We hope to launch the Siapen Center very soon and perhaps even broaden its community building mandate in consultation with the task force and local stakeholders. Here in Davao, we're grateful for the continued support of the city government, led by Mayor Sara Duterte. We look forward to next year's Alveo Ironman 70.3 Davao Triathlon, the very first Ironman in Mindanao. The event is expected to bring to this city Filipino and international athletes and attract thousands of tourists. I understand that the race will start and finish here in Azuela Cove. I hope this premier development will enable the Alcantara and Ayala groups to contribute further to the booming economy of Davao and through additional investments and partnerships, Mindanao as a whole. Thank you very much again, Mr. President, and to all of you who have attended for this special occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando Zobel de Ayala, whom we understand is contemplating joining Ironman next year here in Azuela. To read the message of City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte Carpio, who can't be with us today, please welcome Councilor Pilar Braga.
Our City Mayor, Mayor Inday Sara Duterte, sends her regrets for not being able to join us in this very important occasion this afternoon. However, our City Mayor has asked me to read to you her message today. So, His Excellency, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the Ayala Corporation Chief Operating Officer, Fernando Zobel de Ayala, Ayala Land President Bernard Vincent D., the Alcantara Group Director, Edita Alcantara, our distinguished members of the Cabinet, national and local officials, and all our friends from the private sector and fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, maayong hapon sa tanan. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude on behalf of the City Government of Davao to the Aviana Development Company, the joint partnership between Ayala Land Incorporation and the Alcantara Group for this exciting new development in the landscape of Davao City. For years, both of your respective companies have made a mark in the development of business, residential, and lifestyle areas here in Davao. And your partnership for the Azuela Cove is truly a welcome addition to your contributions, especially because the infrastructure development is one of the key priorities of the city government. So this trust is also in line with the national government, its Build, Build, Build program, which is expected to usher in the golden age of infrastructure in the Philippines. So today's groundbreaking ceremony signals the start of a more mixed-use development, projects that espouse the progress, but never at the expense of the environment. A key prerequisite in the continued socio-economic development of Davao City. I'd like to congratulate the Alcantara family for this laudable project. So once again, congratulations ug daghang salamat sa tanan. Zara Zimmerman.
Councilor Braga, and please give our warm regards to the Mayor. May we now request everyone to please direct your attention to the screens as they take us to the Cove.
Shaping master plan communities across the country, Ayala Land, the most established property developer in the Philippines, emerges with fresh new sites. Soon in Mindanao's center of growth and dynamism. A vibrant ecosystem where people, place, and pursuits flow, teeming with rich culture and tradition. In partnership with Mindanao's pioneer of growth, in infrastructure, agribusiness, and property development, the Alcantara Group. Ayala Land reveals an extraordinary mixed-use community in Metro Davao, Azuela Cove, a 25-hectare business and residential development located at Kilometer 7 Lana, facing Samal Island and Davao Gulf. Here, local concepts and flavors, unique lifestyle choices, leisure amenities, fitness and healthcare facilities, recreation and entertainment spots, thrive in a common sea, a stunning destination creating currents of vibrant experiences, complemented by a distinctive Ayala Land premier living experience. This is Davao's prime waterside community, Azuela Cove.
Okay, and this time may we invite for the unveiling of the master plan from Ayala Land, Mr. Jaime Josabel de Ayala. Mr. Bobby D is already on stage. Ms. Mian D, please join us. From the Alcantara Group, Mr. Nicasio Alcantara, could you join us, please? From St. Luke's, Dr. Gary Cortez, please join us. And of course, those already on stage, Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Presidential Spokesperson Ernest Abella, Mr. Fernando Zobel de Ayala, Ms. Edith Alcantara, and of course, if you can please lead us, the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the formal ceremonial unveiling of the Azuela Cove Master Plan. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Azuela Cove Master Plan. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat. At this stage, we would like to invite Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea to formally introduce our guest of honor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the Republic of the Philippines, ang atong pinalangga, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down and thank you for your courtesy. Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella, Mr. Fernando Sobel de Ayala, Mr. Bernard Vincent D., Ms. Edita Alcantara, officers and staff of the Alcantara Group and Ayala Corporation's distinguished guests, fellow workers in government, my beloved countrymen. Pilar said the mayor sent their regrets that she cannot attend, but you failed to answer my question. Why is she not here? The why is baka nanuntok na naman ng sirip sa labas. Today's soft launch of the Azuela Cove is a manifestation of the government and the private sector's commitment to vigorously pursue economic development in many parts of the country. I commend Aviana Development Corporation, Ayala Land Incorporated, and the Alcantara Group of Companies for this initiative. This joint venture shows that we can achieve when we foster strong ties with our partners in the private sector. With confidence from our investors, Azuela Cove is expected to boost commercial activity in the city as it will bring more jobs for the people of Davao City and its nearby neighborhoods. In construction and operations alone, Around 6,500 workers will be employed. Surrounding areas are also expected to benefit from the increase in land value and the opportunities that will surely follow. This property development will further define the city as a thriving hub in Mindanao. It will have condominiums, uneven tents, and other amenities that will make this community even more vibrant and sustainable. One such plan is to build St. Luke's Medical Center in the estate. This state-of-the-art facility will help us address the medical needs of our people, contributing to the realization of our vision to have a more comprehensive and universal healthcare in the region. This soft launch has been made possible due to the boldness and vision of the real estate industry. The sector has always been by our side in spurring growth in other sectors, including commerce, employment, and housing. I assure you, private partners, that the government has taken measures to ensure that you can do business with ease. We intend to establish an environment that is more conducive for new investments to prosper and for existing businesses to expand and grow. It is my hope that this event will strengthen our collective resolve to provide a more comfortable and productive life for every Filipino. May this collaboration open more opportunities and bring about prosperity and progress in Mindanao for the future generations. I wish this venture more success, and once again, good afternoon. Daghang salamat.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we request the President for a photo opportunity with the Ayala and Alcantara Group of Companies executives and stakeholders in 5 batches. Please come on stage as Cove with pink stickers. Ayala Corporation, Ayala Land, and Alcantara Group executives. Thank you very much. Batch 2 with yellow stickers, Ayala Land executives. Batch 3, please stand by. Batch 3, please stand by, Alcantara Group family. With black stickers. Thank you very much. Batch 3, Alcantara Group family with black stickers. Batch 4, please stand by with blue stickers. St. Luke's Medical Center executives.